Hello, my name is Dave McCormick and I'm with GTL Enterprises, Web Design and Hosting. We develop custom WordPress and Joomla websites. We can also help you with your SEO needs such as local search, organic search, and SERPs, as well as social and media marketing. Today we're going to look at choosing a server and installing WordPress. What I started off doing is just Googling the best servers or hosting servers on the market. And it came up with these top 10 hostings of 2014. Now the criteria that they chose is listed right here. Some of them, the important ones, are PHP MySQL support, offering PHP 5. Now we're actually up to 5.4 or higher. Most of the big servers will be upgrading from 5.2 to 5.5 is the minimum setting. If you want mail, POP3 and iMac are important. Many will need an FTP access. Professional 24-hour technical support is crucial, and a 99.9% network uptime. You don't want your website down too often. And so these are important. So they came up with these top 10 here. You'll notice that HostGator's ranking number 1 right now, probably for price. Nope, not necessarily. There's also Bluehost and HostMonster. These are 3 I'm familiar with and have worked within. We use Bluehost. We are a reseller of Bluehost, and they're a very good hosting service. So, once you choose your hosting service, one of the questions that you're going to be asked when you purchase your service is whether you want to install on a Windows platform or a Linux platform. Some only offer Linux, but if you're offered the choice, choose Linux. WordPress does not function well on Windows, even though it can run on Windows, but it does have problems. And I'm not sure if any of these will actually do that, but I do know of one that's not listed here that's very large, and there's a reason why it's not listed here. So now that we're done with choosing a server, we're going to talk about installing WordPress on your new server. So once you've installed, gotten your access to your server, your hosting, and you've gone in, you will want to get access to the cPanel, and hopefully you will have cPanel. The other one out there is Plesk. cPanel is the predominant winner over the two, and you'll find this on most sites. They may have a different skin or a different color, but most of them will look like this. Some of the icons and some of the functions in here will be differently, particularly here in the mail settings. Maybe in the preference settings will be different. You'll also see some differences down here, possibly in the databases and especially in the software. And that's where actually we're going to go. We're going to go down to software. There's 2 scripts that you can use to install WordPress. Just to back up a second, some of your hosting services will actually have a direct WordPress install button, so you don't even have to go through this route. And that's fine. Take that course. It's great. You'll just pick us up after we click one of these buttons. So you'll have 2 choices with mini cPanels. You have Simple Script or Fantastico. Both function well and work great. Today we'll be using Simple Script, but no reason you couldn't be able to follow this tutorial and do Fantastico at the same time. So once we're in, we're noticing I do have WordPress already installed, so I'm going to have to uninstall the old one. A little quick lesson on uninstalling WordPress in case you make a mistake. Okay, down here in the list, there's a lot of different softwares that you can install onto your server. But we're going to be focusing today on WordPress. It's fairly simple to get into. Once you click install, it's going to take you to a couple of presets. It's going to ask you which version you want to run. 3.7.1 is the highest they're offering, even though we're now at 3.8. Whether or not you want to put it in the root directories where they'll automatically place it, or if you want to put it into a subdomain, such as if you're blogging and you have a static site you want to keep, or you have multiple blogs. But 99% of you will be putting it in the root directory. Next step is definitely to click here on the advanced. Please do not use admin. Admin is one of the most commonly used usernames, and hackers will first use admin as the first choice of username. So use your name as a good choice. For one reason, when you get into your site and you create a post, your username will be written down as the writer of that post. So that's what people will see on the internet. So it's a good idea to put your own name in there if you're going to be one of the main writers on the site. So, and then go ahead and use a password, and the password you should not use is password or password 123. These again are one of the two most commonly used passwords, believe it or not, and will most likely you'll get hacked with using either one of those choices, admin or password. You may be given some choices of some plugins to add to your site. We're going to unclick those. There's nothing wrong using these plugins. Go ahead and complete, and you'll notice that it'll start the installation. It'll ask me if it wants to overwrite some old files, probably from the previous WordPress installation. And there we go. It'll give you your site URL here. It's hot. You can click on it, go straight to your front page. Here's your login URL, which will get you into your admin area for WordPress, your username and password. Once you click out of this is gone. So copy it down, burn it into your brain or something, get it in there, because it will go away once we click past this window. So we'll go to the login URL and take us into the admin area. Once you're logged in, you'll notice the look of 3.7. First thing I'm going to do is actually upgrade to WordPress 3.8. We'll be able to see how easy an upgrade is, but also I would like to say at this point in time, sometimes they do not go well. If you have a very established site with a lot of different plugins, one of them may not be compatible with the newer version of WordPress. In that case, your site may crash. And you may be calling me wondering why I can't get my site back, and I may have some bad news for you if you haven't been backing your site up on a regular basis. So I encourage you always to back your site up before doing an upgrade. And hopefully we'll be getting into backing sites up here soon on a future tutorial. So once we're in, we're going to go down to Settings, General. There are a couple of general settings that are important. You can set the name of your blog, your tagline here if you wish. You can leave that blank. It's no big deal. But here's where the big one is. You definitely want to add your email ID here. Otherwise, if you forget your password, they won't know where to send it to. This will also act if you have a contact page or someone contacts you through comments on one of your pages. It'll come through this email. You then want to add your time zone. You can either add it here where you live in Homer, Alaska here, we're -9. If you don't know what your Greenwich time is, you can go up here and find your time. See if I can actually find it. There's a long list. Here's the Americas. Anchorage is the closest city to Homer, Alaska, so we would pick Anchorage. It's in the same time zone. So, but I'm going to stick with my -9. You can choose your dates to be formatted differently than in several different manners. If you're in Europe, you may want to have it as your year first and your the year first with the month last, or you may want it written like they have the presets there right there, January 12th, 2014. So, and after that, just go ahead and click Save and Change. Or save changes. Now we'll go down to reading, and there's one change here. If you don't have a fully developed website going up and you'd like to develop your website but you don't want the search engines to find it in the meantime, go ahead and click this and then save your changes. Now just one thing real crucial to remember here is that when you're ready to go live with your site, you need to unclick that or the search engines will not find you. Your site is still visible to the public. There is a plugin that can be installed to privatize your website that will allow people to log in and not even be able to see the site prior to launch. However, if you just want the search engines not to see it, this is a good way. Just again, remember to unclick this and save your changes again once your site is launched. Otherwise, you might as well put your website out in the middle of a desert and no one's going to find it. So That concludes our tutorial today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. This is Dave McCormick.